Hello everyone, Gaku here with another update. Some random things I want to talk about. First off, I had a great time at my friend's wedding this past weekend, but I did have a very eventful trip back. In the middle of a Florida thunderstorm. Ended up hydroplaning off the road, but didn't panic, held it together, kept my SUV upright, and even though I ended up at the bottom of a ditch half in the forest, I did not hit a tree. Didn't damage my car and came away unscathed, so not even Mother Nature can keep me down, but that's nothing new. Since I've been back, I've been uploading the zombie mod campaign videos, and the last of those will be up by Friday when the next session starts. There's a session this Friday. We will be continuing from where we left off. Obviously I'm playing Two Sicilies, doing quite well. Currently in a war to take Corsica, and we'll be planning to form Italy. Just a matter of whether any other players decide to try to cockblock me, which if they do, I will bring the full brunt of my power, including all 15 brigades, to bear against them. Unfortunately, UK has had no zombie issues at all. Same for Australia. And of course, North America has managed to keep zombies out. So I would say good for North America. They've done a good job there. But as far as UK and Australia, that just seems a bit cheap to me. So we might be instigating some zombies here and there just to make things a bit more interesting. But other than that, I'd say this campaign's going pretty well. We've got a lot of players, some veterans, some less so, and it's a pretty good mix, and I'm looking forward to see how this turns out. But my immediate goals are to get into Africa and form Italy and sort of maintain my hold over this part of Europe. So should be a lot of fun. As you probably know, I've been gone for the past 3 weeks, so I was looking forward to getting back to the Saturday campaign, but unfortunately, due to shenanigans, the Saturday campaign has been canceled entirely. So no Saturday campaign. My previous playthrough as USA, that's come to a halt, so I won't be able to continue with that, unfortunately. But I am signing up to play as USA in the next ranked campaign, so next Saturday ranked campaign starts on Saturday 2 weeks from now. I believe that's the 21st. So no ranked campaign this Saturday. The only campaign I'll be taking part in this weekend will be the zombie mod. PDoc shorts have started back up. Quite a few shorts from the zombie mod. And I'm sure there'll be quite a few more because there's a lot of content there to draw from. So it's not quite as serious as the other campaigns I've been involved in. So yet another reason I'm looking forward to the continuation of the zombie mod campaign. That's really all I wanted to talk about in terms of Victoria 2. A couple of unrelated and sort of random things I wanted to talk about. First off, I saw a great video by Kurzgesagt. So Kurzgesagt made a great video lately, I'm going to link you to, that pointed out an issue that I wasn't aware of until recently, and maybe you aren't aware of either, but I think it is important to spread the word, so that's what I'm doing right now. That is, it's very easy to download a video off of YouTube, and it's also easy to upload that same video to Facebook, which means that there are people who've made truckloads of money now by downloading original works off of YouTube and then claiming them as their own on Facebook. Of course, the video re-uploaded to Facebook doesn't count as a view and generates no income at all for the original content creator. So if that's something that matters to you at all, then my one recommendation is that if you're going to share a video on Facebook, then if it was originally posted using that Facebook video uploader, see if you can find the original version of that video, very likely on YouTube, and share that one instead, because that way the original content creator can at least get a view out of it, and people can engage with the actual creator rather than the leech scumbag who took it and re-uploaded it in their stead. So that's one thing I want to point out. The other thing is just something I've noticed. There are only a couple of Let's Players that I watch, and only a handful that I follow to any extent. But there's sort of general trends that I notice, especially people who play in the group who post videos, and I can kind of get an idea of what a typical Let's Play channel at this level looks like, and sort of content engagement, that sort of thing. All the boring YouTube shit you hear about. I was looking at a channel run by basically a friend of a friend, and they do sort of a tag team approach to Let's Plays, and they've really been branching out and trying to draw in a very diverse crowd. and they had a video on a recent game which I've never played. It's called, I think, Underworld or something, Undertale. And I saw on their part one of this video, which was posted 2 weeks ago, they had 10,000 views, and I thought, wow, it's really amazing because, you know, they started their channel after I started mine, and they promoted it heavily, and you know, they're doing a great job with it. So I thought, okay, well, I'll see what's going on here. So I clicked on this video, and the thing that was even more surprising to me than the 10,000 views, though, was that there was only a single like. And from my own experience, that's just kind of unheard of. You know, with 100 views, I get a like usually. So, you know, 10,000 views and only a single like, that's just kind of bizarre. So I asked what was up, and the response was that most of their views come from Twitter. So that also seemed a bit odd to me, and I kind of glanced at their Twitter since then. It has about, I think, 1,200 followers. So 1,200 followers plus about that many subscribers on YouTube plus 2 weeks equals 10,000 views, and that just doesn't add up in my mind. Something's a little fishy there, and I'm not saying they're doing anything wrong, but something just doesn't add up. So I did a little quick experiment on my own, and I just on a fluke created a Twitter account a while back, and I'm not going to link you to it because I despise Twitter. But as an experiment, I linked the Twitter account to YouTube, and I've started posting the published videos to Twitter. And what I noticed was a very odd pattern emerged almost immediately, and it's died down since then, but usually, and I can't show you this because of how I'm recording, unfortunately, but usually when I publish a video, the views come in a very flat sort of curve. So there might be 3 or 4 views in the first hour, but after that, for like the first 2-3 days, it's very flat. And that's fine. That's kind of what I expect to see, because, you know, not everyone's going to get the video at the same time. Not everyone's going to watch it at the same time. But what I noticed when I uploaded this one video, the first one I uploaded that was linked to Twitter, it had like almost 40 views in the first hour, which is unheard of. And then it tapered off after that. And that's just absurd, because I have 0 Twitter followers, so where the fuck were all these views coming from? Another frame of reference here. The first video in a series is usually the one that gets most views, and after that it kind of tapers off, if you know anything about YouTube. So part 0 was the first video in the Two Sicily series, and at this point it has 58 views. Part 1, being technically the first part in the series, has 55 views, but this part 4 now has 60 views, which again doesn't really fit the pattern at all. So it's sort of left me scratching my head. And I think what's going on is that Twitter is sort of silently in the background auto-playing the videos, which means that maybe I was looking at my Twitter page in that first hour, and every time I looked at it, it was playing the video even though it wasn't actually showing it to me. It just counted as a view. So that's one possibility, and that would account for a lot of overinflated views on YouTube. So it's certainly not an organic way of getting views, but if that's actually what's going on, then I could see where, you know, someone goes to Twitter, they refresh the page, and then every time your video shows up on that page, you get an extra view. So that would account for a lot of extra views that don't make any other sense whatsoever. So that was kind of an eye-opener to me, and not trying to pad view counts or anything, but it sort of helps put things in perspective when I look at someone else's channel now. So that's good to know, good thing to know. The last thing I wanted to mention, which again is not related to Victoria 2 necessarily, but I do check the channel stats periodically just to see, you know, whether views are going up, down, that sort of thing. For the most part, it's been pretty consistent lately. One thing that has spiked in a way that I had not expected was the dislikes. So dislikes, even though there aren't very many, they're up 400% versus the previous month. So I'm looking at videos that got dislikes, and I'm just trying to kind of make sense of it, really. When I saw that, what I expected was that maybe it was my one Thunderfoot video got all the dislikes, but no, that's actually not the case. It got 1 dislike, and that's been the only dislike. There's another video that kind of makes sense, and that is in my EU4 campaign. That's the single player. I had a video where I lost the audio, and so I did the entire thing in fast forward, and there was one person who didn't like it, so they gave it a dislike, and I guess no one liked it. But anyway, that one was not unexpected, but the rest of them are just kind of odd. So like, so it's like there are dislikes on the live stream, maybe because I'm not live streaming, because I wasn't here. There was one on the Russia campaign, the Casual Sunday campaign, part 6B, but not any of the other ones, which is really odd because 6B happened well over a month ago, and this is only showing me the past month. There's another one on EU4, which was just a random part of it, which kind of makes no sense. So it's like one person didn't like one part, they gave it a thumbs down, but they didn't bother to thumbs down any of the other parts. So it was just like one part they didn't like for some reason. They didn't tell me why, they just didn't like it. There was a single player Hungary video from single player Hungary Victoria 2 campaign that I did a very long time ago. That was like one of the first Let's Plays I did. And part 3 of that series got a thumbs down. Again, it's things that don't really make sense to me. So what I expected was people are just kind of going through and giving me thumbs down like on a bunch of videos. Or, you know, maybe they were just kind of pissed off about the Thunderfoot thing. But that's actually not what happened. It's just like random people finding random videos and giving them all thumbs down. So it's kind of odd. But curious to see what happens with that in the future. So if you feel like thumbing down, feel free to continue doing that. But I'm just curious to see what kind of pattern emerges here. Because right now I can't see a pattern. Also, one person, I think this is the first dislike of a Paradox short that I've had, so that one's kind of odd, but whatever. I guess maybe it was a Paradox employee. Yeah, that's about it. Slowly getting back into videos since my 3-week hiatus, and looking forward to continuing with the Friday campaign and restarting the Saturday campaign, and probably going to be a little bit different than the last one, but we'll see what happens. As always, if you have any comments, feel free to leave them. And thanks for watching, and have a good one.